Hey, good people, 76th post here, and I want to give tribute to Bob Marley. His full name, Robert Nesta Marley, sums to the number 76, which, if you live in certain parts of the United States, you might associate with the gas station chain. If you decode several large corporation names in Gematria, they sum to 76. In numerology, 76 is a number that reduces to 13. 7 plus 6 equals 13. And 4, because 1 plus 3 from 13 equals 4, which is a number of foundation. If you've never seen one of my posts before, please go to the introductory video and watch that first. Otherwise, this post might not make that much sense. If you have seen one before, we'll move ahead. So, Bob Marley, his full name is Robert Nesta Marley. The name Robert, of course, has the gematria of 33, which is found in many musicians, world leaders, actors, celebrities, essentially people you see on the big stage, the people who are put in front of us on television, magazines, movies. His middle name, Nesta, sums to 14. So Robert Nesta sums to 47, the other name they like. And the name Marley sums to 29. This is with the reduced method. So the name Robert Nesta Marley sums to 76 with the reduced method. With the larger method, his entire name has a different sum. It sums to 211. And notice 211 is 2 plus 1 plus 1, which also equals 4, just like how 76 reduced to 4 at the beginning. But what's interesting about the name Marley with the larger method is that it sums to 74, like the words Jesus, cross, Lucifer, occult, English, gematria, and many more significant names. And of course, Bob Marley spoke a lot about Jesus and Christianity in his music. Earlier we said Robert Nesta equaled 47. The word Christian sums to 47. So it gets more interesting. Robert, or Bob Marley, as most people know him, was a member of the Wailers. But in the year 1974, emphasis on the 74, he broke away and began his solo career. What's interesting about that is the name Bob in Gematria sums to 19, and the name Marley sums to 74. So Bob Marley, 1974, his solo career began that year. Not a coincidence. If you haven't seen my post on the Wu-Tang Clan, you should watch that. And if you've never visited my written blog, I have several posts on all sorts of musicians across all genres, all eras of music. This is an ongoing trend, making names, birthdays, and dates align, especially with these significant numbers, especially to the occult. The word occult equals 74. So Bob Marley, 1974, solo career began in 74. In 1977, a year that's a multiple of 11, 77, he released the album Exodus. The gematria of the word Exodus sums to 88. Exodus is the second book in the Bible following Genesis, which has a gematria of 33. Bob Marley was 33 years old in 1977 when he released the album Exodus. He recorded that album in the UK. That was the first time he recorded an album there, and that's the one that ended up giving him the worldwide fame that we now know him for. He was no worldwide fame before then. It was that album Exodus that catapulted him onto the major stage. It was 3 years later that Bob Marley played his final concert. That was in Pennsylvania on September 23rd, 1980. He told his fans that day he would return, but unfortunately he did not because he died shortly after from cancer. It should be noted that Pennsylvania is the Keystone State, and the gematria of Keystone is 33. So anyway, my point is if you haven't checked out my other posts, please do so. What I'm trying to show to you is just the way they code this stuff into the musicians, and just it shows you who has the ownership over them. And something, I've always been a fan of Bob Marley personally, and he's always had this lyric that is real curious to me in Redemption Song. If you've never heard the song Redemption Song before, I'll link that down in the comments. But he has this lyric about have no fear for atomic energy. And I always just thought that was interesting because, I mean, it's true you shouldn't have fear, but atomic energy is something fearful. And anyway, I think there is a reason that he might have that lyric, and I don't think it was written by him. The reason I think is because I think the atomic and nuclear weapons program is really part of the fear propaganda used against us, and those weapons don't truly exist. That's another post for another time. I'll be doing that one shortly. If you think it sounds crazy right now, you won't after I release all the information to you. You'll see exactly where I'm coming from. But anyway, stay tuned and subscribe, and there's lots more coming. Thanks, people. Encore. I forgot one important point. Bob Marley is a major brand in today's world, and the company that generates the most revenue from his name is named Tuff Gong. And the gematria of Tuff Gong sums to 96, which is the sum of the 3 degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. 31 plus 32 plus 33 sums to 96. In gematria, the word knowledge sums to 96. The religion New Ageism and the religion Satanism, they all sum to 96. This very significant number to the Freemasons. And the movement is named after a man with the name Leonard Howe. Leonard in gematria sums to 33, just like Robert, as in Robert Nesta Marley or Bob Marley. And his last name's Howe, which sums to 30, which reduces to 3. So his name's like 33-3. The center of this Tuff Gong movement that's now a major multi-annually billion-dollar company. So that's also the other point, is how they build up. I mean, think about it. Most of Bob Marley's fans probably really appreciate Bob Marley, but he was on this planet for 3 years, from 1977 to 80, having the success from his music. And since then, he's been this major generator of revenue for a people that probably didn't really have Bob Marley's best interest at heart, and might very well be responsible for his murder. Because after all, when you martyr somebody or you kill them, their music, their books, their movies, they always do better. And that's probably also true of Bob Marley.